Celeste here from Hexen Arcane. As you can see, I'm outside in the winter, which is pretty weird for me because, as everyone knows, I hate winter, but more on that later. I'm here right now in Woodstock, Illinois. More on that later too. So what we're showing tonight is the 1959 fun, oh god, this film is so fun. It's the 1959 The Killer Shrews. I love this movie because it has a fun storyline. It's got terrible effects. It was part of a double feature with the giant Gila monster. So it's one of those like 50s schlocky, like sci-fi weird, like mad scientist gone wrong movies that everyone loves. At least I do. And why I'm here in Woodstock, Illinois is for Groundhog Day. So if you don't know, the 1993 movie Groundhog Day, starring the wonderful Bill Murray, was filmed mostly around here in Woodstock, Illinois. Behind me, you can see Gobbler's Knob, which we'll check out a little bit. So this is the filming location. The Woodstock Town Square is the filming location for Gobbler's Knob. And I have a big plan here. So Morgan doesn't know what I'm up to today, but my aforementioned hate of winter, yeah, I have a plan to stop it. And she'd stop me if she knew what I was doing.
First in Alaska, and then invading steadily southward, there were reports of a new species. The giant killer shrew.
Sure is a lot of quiet out there. Almost smell it, can't you?
No, but I can feel it. That pressure's dropped so fast, it's almost made my ears pop.
Hurricane's got different ways of telling you it's there. Where is it?
Dead ahead.
What's that mean to us?
My boy, that puts our port right in the middle of it. There's a cove on the lee side, though. We'll snuggle up close to the bluff and ride it out.
What about the bottom?
Well, the chart shows it's good holding ground. It's clay. You know something? If this thing had an automatic pilot, I wouldn't have to put up with you.
Then you wouldn't have nobody to chew out.
We should be there in a couple of hours. These mills of yours keep running.
Look, automatic pilots can't play Dixieland jazz on them engines like I can.
Hey, Rook. Rook, come here. Take a look. There she is, dead ahead.
Man, that sure do look good.
A man named Craigis owns this island, doesn't he?
That's the name on the crate, Dr. Marlowe Craigis.
We'll unload tomorrow. I don't want this craft sitting high in that water when that blow hits.
You gonna ride stern, too, with a lot of water under?
That's right. That sea won't make up in that cove. That wind will have her whipping around like a kite. Slip forward and break out the heavy weather hook. Shackle it, make sure it's free to run.
I'm out, Sir Shackle.
Good. Oh, she'll ride like a duck. If she swings too far to starboard, we might have to take a check line to shore. Hey, Rook, take a slant up that trail. Now, that's a rather strange setup, wouldn't you say?
Look like somebody's getting rid of somebody, huh, Captain?
Maybe. Hard to tell.
I'm Dr. Craigis.
Thorne Sherman. I have your supplies aboard.
That's good. Nothing wrong with Captain Ferguson, I hope.
Well, I wouldn't know. I just bought his run.
Oh, I see. Were you able to fill our order?
Everything on the list. Here's the manifest.
Missing last week's supply has run us a little short, you know. Captain, after you have unloaded, I have a passenger for you. Anne. Captain Sherman, this is my daughter, Anne Craigis.
Hello. So you're the passenger?
That's right, Captain.
Oh, it's going to be nice having you aboard. I'm getting a little tired looking at Griswold. But we're not leaving today. In fact, we're not even unloading. That load will cut the roll in half. You expecting an invasion?
Yes, animals.
Game or otherwise?
Under certain conditions, it could be dangerous.
Hey, Rook, you want to shake the kinks out? Limber up a little?
Not me, Captain Blight. You go right ahead and stretch your legs. That ship's gonna be bucking like a bucking bronc for long. Besides, I got some work left to do.
If you do come ashore, wear a gun.
Got you, Captain.
When I told you about the hurricane, you act like you didn't know anything about it. What's the matter? Your set broken down?
You've been out of communication for more than a week, Captain.
Can't it be fixed?
It's totally out of commission.
My assistant, Mr. Farrell, Jerry Farrell.
Father, perhaps the captain would enjoy a drink.
Well, of course. Will you join us in a cocktail?
Well, I've never been known to turn down a drink yet. I'll be glad to accept.
Fine. In that case, we'll have martinis. Mario,
Si, senor.
mix them, please. Right this way, Captain. Come in.
You have everything here you need?
Oh, we are self-sufficient here. We have cows for fresh milk and chickens for fresh eggs.
We even have saddle horses.
Sort of a world all your own.
That's exactly what I've tried to create.
Well, to each his own.
If you have to be isolated for your work, you've picked a lonely little island.
Excuse me, please. I think I'll change.
She's a little worried because you aren't leaving until tomorrow.
Well, I can understand that. But there's something else bothering her.
Radford? Radford? Radford, would you please step over here? I'd like you to meet someone.
Just a second, Doc.
That could go on for hours. Dr. Bain.
There's no need to shout, Doctor. I'm right here.
I'd like you to meet Captain Thorne Sherman. This is my other assistant, Radford Baines. How do you do?
2 new litters since lunch, Doctor. Both support GT116.
That's good, but,
We can breed them to the 205 group in about 3 weeks. But I'd prefer to wait and expose about half of them to the Hoskins factor first. If you agree.
Good idea. Do you know there's a hurricane coming?
Hurricane? Well, I don't suppose there's much we can do about that. Glad to meet you. Sherman, wasn't it?
You have to excuse Radford. Anything that does not concern his project does not get through to him. Brilliant mind. He would starve to death if someone didn't remind him to eat.
Must be very interesting work. What's his field?
Biology. We specialize in genetics, heredity.
I'm afraid my interest doesn't run in that line, you know.
Think what would happen if you could isolate and identify the inherited factor in each gene.
Now, wait a minute. I'm afraid I'm not very good with pure research.
This is practical research. Generally, among mammals, the smaller the size, the higher the metabolism and the shorter the lifespan.
Is that right?
Well, I'm attempting to decrease the size while maintaining a low metabolism and resultant a longer lifespan.
For what reason?
Overpopulation. Not a problem now, but it will be in time. If we were half as big as we are now, we could live twice as long on our natural resources.
Father, may I speak with you a moment? Will you please excuse us, Captain?
Well, providing you drop the captain, I prefer Thorne.
No. Well.
Tell me something, Doctor. Has a hurricane ever hit this island before that you know of?
I wouldn't know. You've only been here 9 months, and this place has been unoccupied for years.
Well, have you ever been through one?
Only the fringes.
Well, this one's building up very fast. Pressure drops very quickly in the center. I'd advise you to get some doors and windows open in this place.
Ventilators on the roof. And if you'll freshen Anne's drink, I'll go and check them.
I'd be happy to.
Thank heavens you're right today.
Why, are rations getting short?
No, it's more than that. Much more. We'll surely be able to sail tomorrow, won't we?
Possibly. But not probable. Not delayed, anyway. Takes a long time for a sea like that to quiet down.
Well, if you're worrying about me, you needn't. I'm a good sailor.
Oh, I'm not worried about you. We'll sail when the time's right.
Got them opened, all right. Well, Captain, let me freshen you a drink. One for the road. Not trying to rush you, but it will be dark soon.
I've invited Thorne for dinner, Father.
Oh, I see. If you're not worried about your ship, you're welcome.
I'll take a rain check on that dinner.
If you wish.
Father, I've asked Thorne to stay.
Progress, Doctor. This is the sole survivor of Group 30. 28 months old today.
Well, that's equivalent to 140 years to us.
That's right, yet it still maintains low metabolism without any sluggishness.
It's not the breakthrough, but it certainly sets our course. Radford, suspend series 52 through 96, and we'll concentrate on the rest.
What is that?
It's a Sorex cericidae.
Looks like a small rat. Smells like a skunk.
They have musk glands in their knees. And these little fellows are our subjects. They have a birth cycle of 10 to 14 days. And using them, we can establish traits. We can trace the progressions through a number of generations over a short period of time.
Well, how big do they get?
That's an adult. See, the muzzle is longer and thicker than the rat's. It extends over the lower mandible, see?
Does he bite?
Only when he's hungry.
Well, maybe you better take him. He doesn't know me.
All he knows is his next meal. He's just been fed. He'll be all right for another 8 hours.
The shutter blew open. Radford? I got it, senor.
Don't let that scare you. It's gonna get worse.
Storms always frighten her, ever since she was a child.
All right, we are back, and this behind me here is the Opera House. This was used as Rita's hotel, the Fleabag hotel that Phil wouldn't stay at in Groundhog Day. So that is the outside of this building. And you may ask, why am I dressed like this? That is all part of my plan. So I couldn't show this on camera because I didn't want to implicate myself directly. But I found the groundhog, cast an invisibility spell, and I am going to replace the groundhog, ensuring that I do not see my shadow and winter ends on Groundhog Day. Brilliant, right? So I'm going to continue to cover some of these locations while I wait and try to keep my story under wraps a little bit so that I'm not caught and Morgan will have no idea that I am now the groundhog. And I see my shadow right now. I'm trying to figure out how to not see my shadow. I'm trying to get like a spell for my shadow. I don't know if that's a thing. Morgan would know, but I can't ask her. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the Killer Shrews. I just don't even know what to say about this movie. There's so much to say about it. So some trivia. One of the actors said when he was filming this, he had trouble keeping a straight face because of the shrews they used. And now the shrews, when you see a close-up of a shrew, it is a puppet. But if you see a wide shot of it, it was actually a coonhound, a dog, dressed up like a shrew. And he said it looked like a dog in shag carpeting, and it was really hard for him to keep a straight face and not bust out laughing. But I don't think the effects are what make this movie so great, because otherwise it'd be a terrible movie. You guys get back to it.
They're not climbers. They are digging animals, like the mole. They feed only at night unless they're starving. And when they are hungry enough, they'll tackle anything regardless of size.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. If you leave 2 of them in a cage for 12 hours without food, the stronger will eat the weaker.
Like cannibals.
Precisely. You see, their intense activity requires a tremendous amount of energy. To supply it, they must eat 3 times their own weight in food every 24 hours or starve. Radford, would you please take this? Take it away. Yeah. Some call them bone eaters. When the flesh is gone, they'll eat the bones for marrow. All they'll leave are teeth, horns,
I could
hooves.
use another martini. Do you mind?
Of course, my dear. I'll get you one. There you are. Mario! Aquí, por favor. Mario will show to the bath and he'll freshen up a bit. Lleve el señor al baño.
Sí, señor. Sígame, por favor.
Excuse me.
Aquí, señor.
You got a problem, too? ¿Qué pasó?
Nada. Nothing, señor. but you will leave on the ship tomorrow.
Well, I think that all depends on the wind and the sea, don't you?
Sí, sí, señor. I don't know. Ah, you may joking. I feel the point. I've seen.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, if anybody else is concerned about my sailing tomorrow, why, you see, they feel the point too, huh? I don't like to repeat myself.
Okay, senor.
I know, but I'm not saying that you created them, Jerry. I am saying that because of your drunken stupidity in leaving the cage door open, you created the horrible situation that now exists.
Look, Ann, this is a mistake any one of us might have made. And I'm getting a little sick of being called an irresponsible drunk. Now, believe me, I am. Excuse me.
Care for a cigarette?
Thanks. And thank heavens you arrived today.
You said that before. What's the strain?
That don't make sense. Please excuse me. But it seems like everything is coming to a head at once.
Oh?
I want to leave, but I want my father to go with me.
Well, then, why doesn't he?
We've discussed it many times, but he's adamant. I'm sure Jerry has a lot to do with this decision. He tried to convince me that the crisis will only last for a few...
Wow. This is certainly a cozy little scene. Might even be called intimate. Boy meets girl.
Stop it, Jerry. That remark is uncalled for. What I do or have to say does not concern you.
I can't disagree with you more, my dear. I'm concerned with everything you do, and I intend to keep it that way. Now, in my book, an engagement isn't a casual thing.
In my book, it isn't either. And last night ended ours.
Be reasonable. Everybody in the world is scared to death of something.
That's evident. When they came at us last night, you knocked me down getting inside the fence.
It's just that I can't stand them.
And I've discovered something I can't stand.
All right. But I advise you not to mention it to anyone. I'm going to complete these experiments with your father regardless of anything. Do you understand that? Nobody is going to take this chance away from me.
Where's Captain Sherman?
Checking the weather. I'll get him. Captain, time for dinner.
Mile, I always say.
You know, if one of those trees crashes through, it might just
Look,
knock
honey,
the whole...
any tree on this side of the house will fall away from it, so just relax. But I think I'd better go back aboard. I don't think I'm not grateful for your hospitality. I am. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thorne, your ship is safe. Please, stay here with me.
Why? You scared or lonesome?
Both.
I'll take a rain check on it.
Thorne, you can't leave. No one opens that gate after dark.
Well, who's going to stop me? You?
Well, this. No one opens that gate at night.
Now, look, I don't ask questions because it's against my principles. But wouldn't you like to explain that?
All right. Sit down and I will.
Give me the gun. It's not very becoming anyway.
Do you believe in fairy tales?
Well, I'm a little old for that sort of thing, but what'd you have in mind?
Well, I'll tell you about one. A true fairy tale. And you're right in the middle of it.
Oh?
Have you ever heard of a shrew?
As in taming
No,
of
the animal. Bradford called them Sorix cericidi when he showed you one.
Oh, then shrew must be the common name for those cute little animals.
Cute. That's the last word you can use to describe those little monsters. They're the most horrible animals on the face of the earth. As Father told you, they breed within 3 weeks after birth. Their lifespan is around 1
I know
year.
what your father told me, but what's that got to do with me opening that gate?
There are 200 or 300 giant shrews out there. Monsters weighing between 50 and 100 pounds.
50 to 100. Wait a minute, you must be kidding.
I'm definitely not kidding.
That's as big as a full-grown wolf.
And what's more, they are beginning to starve.
No wonder you didn't want me to go out there. Thanks for saving my skin.
Well, I'm sorry I had to threaten you with a gun. But I didn't know how else to stop you.
Oh, it was very effective. But all you had to do was tell me about them.
Well, I hoped I wouldn't have to. But you changed everything when you started to leave. And I had to stop you some way.
You say there's 200 or 300 out there?
Anne. That's right, Captain Thorne. And if you'd stuck with your rowboat and played captain instead of trying to play detective, you wouldn't have to worry about how many are out there, would you?
That's enough, Jerry. What's wrong, Anne?
Well, Thorne decided to leave. To dissuade him, I started to tell him about the shoes.
You might as well know the whole story as half of it. I guess we're all a little jumpy, Captain.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
6 months ago, we managed to isolate the factor controlling size. 2 litters were born. 6 individuals we kept for study. They were about the size of buckshot at birth. But the rate of growth was abnormal. They continued to grow. They were mutants. But they inherited all the negative characteristics of their breed. Somehow they managed to escape. But a month later, we saw one of their offspring. They were multiplying. We did everything in the world to exterminate them, but no apparent luck. Then we haven't seen any. Since daylight neither blinds them and they forage only at night, when they're starving. But the fact that 2 of them charged Anne and Jerry at the gate last evening indicates that the available food on the island is nearing depletion.
Then what, Doctor?
They will exterminate each other. It'll take a couple days.
What do we do during that time?
Stay indoors and wait until it's over.
wires blew down on the transformer.
I'm sorry. I'll get some lamps.
Mario! Mario!
Si, senor.
There's a lantern in the pantry. Light it and bring it in here. Bradford, light all the candles you can find.
All right, I will.
Where's the generator?
Outside. Can't get at it at night.
Here, let me help you.
The lantern will give you all the light you need.
I will join you shortly, Jerry.
Let's take it real soon. You know we got.
Okay.
Morgan,
Yes.
I heard the police. I think they're on to me.
Probably. What'd you do?
I have to confess. I went to Woodstock, Illinois.
Okay.
So, you know how that's where Groundhog Day was filmed?
With Bill Murray.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And you know how it was Groundhog, about to be Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
And you know how I hate winter? So I went to Woodstock and I put an invisibility spell on the groundhog, and then I dressed like the groundhog and ran around town so people would think I was the groundhog. And that way, when they have the groundhog see its shadow, I would not see my shadow, and then it would not be winter anymore.
Sound theory. But where do the cops come into this?
Well, I'm pretty sure they figured out that I'm not the groundhog, and I did something with the groundhog, and I just heard the police sirens, and I'm scared.
It's
and
fine.
I thought I'd confess.
You're fine. I didn't want to know that. Now I'm an accomplice. This is great. Now I'm an accomplice. So, don't make me an accomplice. I don't want to know.
You always make me an accomplice. All this stuff.
Involved.
Remember when you killed that person? And you called me to help dispose of the body?
Which one?
When you were working that office job?
Oh, yeah! What was her name again?
Mrs. Crest or something? I don't know. Okay. So, I don't know.
Crud, crappy, cruddy. That's right.
Yeah.
Behind the filing cabinet.
So this is like payback. Kind of, but I just really want help because...
I think it's a misdemeanor.
To impersonate a groundhog? Or to make the groundhog disappear?
I think to steal it. Would that be that?
I didn't steal it. It's still there. It's just invisible. The invisibility spell will wear off in a week.
Okay, because I'm not going to drive down to Woodstock. I'm lazy.
And
I'm not staying over the border, but to undo that invisibility spell if it's going to wear off.
I can't undo it.
If it's going to wear off, do we need to?
No, but now there's no groundhog unless I go back, and I'm the groundhog.
I have to drive you off at Woodstock.
Can you tell I'm a groundhog? Do I look like a groundhog?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't know. Bass for one, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've seen some freaky looking groundhogs, I guess. Right? Like,
I don't look freaky, do I?
No, but they don't all look uniform, right? I mean, it's not like they put them in a machine and put them on an assembly line, right? Like, not all groundhogs are equal.
I don't know where they get this groundhog. I didn't actually get a good look at it before I put the spell on it, but I think it looked something like this.
Oh, good.
It's like a little smaller and stuff.
Okay.
But they feed it a lot, so I think it's plausible.
Oh, of course you're going to go live there. There's food. Somebody cooks there. You don't have to cook. That's why she did this.
No, it's because I can't stand winter anymore. I hate winter.
So do I. It's almost spring. Did you know there's like 6 more Mondays until spring?
Did you know that's 6 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's ending here and now.
Think of how fast the weeks fly by. That's what I do.
Do you know how cold it is flying around in winter? Speaking of flying by, I took my broom there, and it was very cold.
Why would you take the broom? Drive! That's why we have vehicles in the winter here.
Because I was
Wisconsin.
optimistic.
see that.
It was an error in judgment.
That's a big error in judgment. You invisibilized a groundhog. You're now impersonating said groundhog. They're gonna find your broom. And I hope it was some, like, elderly woman who needed a broom, and it wasn't somebody of importance that found that broom. It's not like your prints are gonna come up with the system, though. You're almost lost, right?
I had gloves on.
Okay, that works. Problem solved. It'll wear off
I don't
in a
even
week.
think my prints are on file, unlike yours. If we want to talk about your extensive criminal record. Yeah, didn't think so. All right. Well, start driving back to Woodstock.
Hey, everybody! You're here with me, Morgan Parker. Apparently, Celeste thought she was going to end winter by disguising a groundhog so it didn't see its shadow. What that has to do with anything, I don't know. She thinks we're having a picnic. I don't want to have a picnic. I'm going to go back to work. But while I'm here and freezing, I'll give you some information on Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Day originally started over in Germany. It comes from the Christian tradition of Candlemas. They used to measure candles to tell you how long or short the winter was going to be. Then they started using hedgehogs once they selected an animal to do this. Why hedgehogs? Not sure. Then when they came to America, out in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, they started using groundhogs because those were plentiful in Pennsylvania. So every year, Punxsutawney Phil, which I'm sure is not the original Punxsutawney Phil by now, gets grabbed and manhandled out of his burrow to see if he sees his shadow. If he does, it's 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't, we're supposed to have an early spring. In case you don't know, groundhogs are also called pig whistles. They can climb trees and they can swim. They'll also eat your electrical wires that run under the ground. They're a nuisance.
Yeah, and the groundhog's not gonna see a shadow. I don't care if I see it, I'm gonna insist that I don't. Winter is ending now, here and now.
That better, because I'm gonna get pneumonia. I'm so cold.
You're freezing, oh my goodness.
Ah, I'm cold.
Well, Jerry, I felt she was sincere and made sense from her standpoint.
Wanting her father to leave the island with her makes sense? It'd be much better for the project if I went with her for a few days. As a matter of fact, I think I'll talk to the doctor about that. That might be the answer. And another thing, I don't take much to this Thorne Sherman. He looks to me like the type that'd try anything.
That left-handed dinner invitation, that was just to keep me here till after dark, wasn't it?
I wanted you here tonight. I felt something terrible was going to happen.
Well, you still feel the same way about it?
Not as much. Not since you're here and know everything. I love an open fire, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
The wind has a lonesome sound, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Like in Sweden, we don't have a wind this strong. You're a strange man, Thorne. I never met anyone like you.
Oh?
You seem so disinterested in everything. Aren't you the least bit curious? Don't you wonder about the unusual things around here? The guns, the fence, the shattered windows, my accent, anything?
I'll tell you something. I'm only interested in anything that concerns me, then I do something about it. You're gonna sail with me tomorrow, whether your father intends to or not.
Thorne, no! Father, Brad! Out there!
him take a chance. He's fool enough to.
Don't be stupid. I had no intentions of going out there, opening that gate. Now somebody needed it. Did you hear it, Doctor? Sound like a human voice. I was thinking of Rook.
It was the livestock. The Shrews got into the barn.
What was it, Father?
It was the livestock.
Did Mario forget to bar those doors?
No. I put them in the barn myself. They couldn't get through the wood doors. They dug through the dirt floor.
Let me ask you something, Doctor. How could you expose all our lives, yourself included, with those things out there? All you had to do was get the Coast Guard or the Navy to come in here and burn them out. Those things got loose.
Any unusual experiment can produce unusual results. That's why I chose this island. It's isolated. Miles of open water in any direction. Our project is privately financed. It's not a problem for the government or military. And the world is in no danger. This species does not swim. And as far as the Shrews are concerned, this island is their world.
Very soon, right here on this island, there's going to be a miniature reproduction of an overpopulated world. And you'll see the importance of what we're working to avoid.
I'm not concerned about all this theory. What I'm concerned about is our lives.
There'll be ample time to panic when they run out of food and go on a 24-hour forage.
How do you know they haven't already?
That's possible. Their main diet has been the small animals on the island. That source could have been depleted 18 or 20 hours ago. And that's why they went after the livestock.
There's still some food on this island before they reach the crisis.
Where? No worry about them digging in here. The floors are tile.
But the walls aren't, Doctor. They're adobe. Our safest bet would be on that boat.
You may be right. You can reach your boat in daylight. The Shrews will gorge themselves on livestock. That should keep them lethargic for several hours.
There's no sense looking at the dark side.
And there's no sense minimizing a serious situation. It leaves you completely unprepared to cope with it. Now, we certainly can't make it tonight. That's out of the question. Maybe tomorrow. I haven't. We'll get some sleep tonight, but we'll have a watch, an hour and a half apiece. Doctor, you go first, and then Radford, Mario, Jerry, and then me. Shutter all the windows, make sure they're locked good and tight, check all these walls.
Come on.
No, I think I'll stay here by the fire. I feel safer. I couldn't stand it in that room alone.
All right, as you wish. But try to get some sleep.
I will.
Senor Farrell, here is Mario. You are next to make the patrol, no?
Sure, Mario. Come on in. I've been waiting for you to finish. I must have dozed off. You kind of startled me. Sit down. Here. Have a drink. It'll help you to relax.
Gracias, señor.
Sit down. Just a while. You just checked every room in the house, didn't you?
Sí.
Fine. You're a good man, Mario. A man that can be trusted. You know what I've been thinking about, Mario? Anne and that captain. You and me. Imagine an intelligent girl like her going for a common sea tramp like him. I know why. You do too. In case anything goes wrong, she's looking out for her own hide. That's why I keep thinking about you and me. Anything goes wrong, we're gonna outlast them all. I'm going to trust you to take my turn at patrolling the house. But when you finish, don't wake the captain. Come back here and get me. See, I'll probably feel good enough by then to take his turn. Okay, Mario?
Sí.
Okay.
Señor, it is Mario.
Oh, Mario, come on in. What is it?
There is a big raton in la bodega.
A shrew in the cellar?
See, I hear him singing down there.
Well, how did he get in?
The store broke out the kitchen window, but I closed it off. He went down there.
Why should he go down there?
The food for the little ratones. I put it out to frost. They love it.
Well, did you tell Jerry?
No, senor. Here is your turn next. Here is una luz. We kill him, no?
Yeah. Shrew got in. It's all right. He's down in the cellar. Now, we're going down after him. But I don't want you to let anybody open that door till I tell you to. You understand? Good girl. Open it just a crack. Open. Hold on to it. Okay. Side. Mario?
Aquí. You see anything? I see where he was. I do not see where he is.
Cuidado.
Sí, señor. I will be careful. also gotten busy.
Well, everyone, we are back. This movie's really getting somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah, we should talk a little bit about the killer Shrews. So in German, this movie, now I gotta read this, it was called Die Nacht der unheimlichen Bestien, which is the night of the scary beasts, which is more apt than killer Shrews because they were dogs and they clearly look like dogs and they don't look like shrews, but whatever. What's kind of sad here is that in the plot of the movie, the shrews end up being like, you know, like eating everything and then starving, and I find that really sad because it's like another movie of man-created problems in the environment with their experiments, and then the wildlife has to suffer for it. But that's all I'm going to say on that. Behind me here is the Woodstock movie theater, which was the theater that was used in Groundhog Day when Phil went to the movies. You know, we got all dressed up. So far, the town seems to be accepting me as the groundhog. They're just like, oh, the groundhog's out. So that's pretty cool. I am excited to check out a few more filming locations on this cold day. And like I mentioned, I hate winter. I despise winter. Morgan knows I hate winter. Everybody knows I hate winter. I just don't like being cold. So I'm here to change it. This here is the really cool mural. It's by the movie theater off of Main Street in Woodstock. And they did a great job with this. I'll show you the whole thing. So you've got Ned Ryerson, you've got Phil Connors, got the whole Groundhog Day, Woodstock Willie. Then you've got Citizen Kane, whole thing for Orson Welles. I love this War of the Worlds. That is just really cool. And then here's Stars of the Opera House in town. So you see the Opera House is depicted, and then all these people. Got Paul Newman. I love Paul Newman. Yeah. It's one of my absolute favorites. This Sting is one of my favorite movies. Got whole Dick Tracy. Here's Orson Welles statue. A teeny tiny Orson Welles. It's a little statue. And like Punxsutawney Phil, here's the little house, but it's Willie. And here's a groundhog statue. I'm here outside the Tip Top Cafe from Groundhog Day. So it is not actually a cafe anymore. It started out, I'm not sure when it started out, they used it as a filming location called the Tip Top Cafe, and then actually turned into the Tip Top Cafe for a while. It's gone through a bunch of owners, but it is now a restaurant. So if you remember, Bill Murray comes down this way, runs into Ned Ryerson, right around here, steps off the curb into the puddle. They have a plaque actually for the puddle that Bill Murray steps in. It's all covered in snow right now, but I'll show you a little bit in a sec. And obviously this is where a lot of the movie takes place. He's eating donuts, things spill, he picks up a date. So it's a scene for a lot of stuff, and this is directly across the street from the Woodstock Square, which is Gobbler's Knob in the movie. And it is a nice sunshiny warm day. Town's been waving at me and taking pictures. I'm pretty sure they think I'm a groundhog. So, it's looking good for me. I'm here at the corner where Phil runs into Ned. Needle-nosed Ned, Ned the Head, Ned Ryerson, who comes at people like a bull. Anyway, Yes, I love Ned. So this is the place where Phil's walking down the street, probably to the Tip Top Cafe because it is right up there. And Ned comes running up to him, trying to sell him some insurance. One time he punches him, but yeah, Ned's a lot. He's very extra. I relate to that. So I actually really like Ned. And they have this plaque here that says Ned's Corner Groundhog Day movie 1992. So in tribute to Ned, he made the mural, which I thought was pretty cool. This movie's kind of a trip. I hope you guys like it. I love it. Every time I watch it, it makes me laugh. The storyline's okay. It's very dramatic. There's not that many deaths, but the ones they do have are pretty entertaining. So all in all, this is one of the movies I love to show along with Giant Gila Monster. It's just an enjoyable movie to watch. It's cheesy too. There are some lines where I'm just like, no, why would you do that? Why would you say that? The writing's not the best. The effects, definitely not the best. But the overall product, anyway. So I'm gonna keep doing my little tour here, enjoying this town, and talk to you soon. Hey guys, what you see behind me is an alley. So this is the alley from Groundhog Day on the corner of Judd and Benton Street in Woodstock, Illinois, where tragically the old guy died. So this is his alley. The corner where he stood is right up there. I'll show you in a sec. But this is the alley, and you know, as you know, no matter what Phil did, he could not save him no matter how hard he tried. So that kind of shows the inevitability of life sometimes. And the corner up there, that's Ned Ryerson's corner. That's where he would always see the old man every morning.
You all right down there? Doctor, get down here, quick! Mario?
He's dead.
Dead?
I got this on him right away. He couldn't have bled to death.
Might as well let go of it. Won't do him any good now.
What could have killed him?
I'm not certain. Till the autopsy.
Hemotoxic syndrome.
I'm afraid so. We'll know after pathology.
Doctor, that's not the same animal you showed me. That's a monster.
As I said, they are mutants. In controlling the size factor, we seem to have crossed some of the other characteristics.
Well, you certainly did a good job of it.
I've known that for some time, Captain. Would you please give me a hand with Mario? Bradford, bring up the animal.
Extremely high poison content in the Shrews' saliva.
Now compare it with this. Careful count isn't necessary. Any indication of the same poison in Mario's blood will give you the answer.
Yes, you're right.
Look, Ann. Brooding about it's not going to do any good. Now, why don't you try to think of something else? Tell me, what do you do around here? Are you a scientist?
I'm a zoologist.
Oh. That's the study of animal life, isn't it? Well, do you specialize? What do you specialize in?
They died. Well, I had a hand in this, too. And I'm partly to blame. But this ends it. If we ever get off this island, I'll never have anything to do with it again.
What will you do?
Live normally, like normal women do. May seem a little dull after the life I've been living. But rather dull and alive than excited and...
I'll take a dull, alive woman every time.
Say, Thorne, the autopsy has proved what we suspected. Several weeks ago, I concocted the most virulent poison I could with the materials I had at hand. And we put it out as bait. Mario was killed by poison.
Doctor, I wonder if you thought the system of the Sorex enabled them to assimilate that poison. It remained in the salivary glands of their jaws. Isn't that wonderful? Well, I am sorry. Of course, I always speak from the clinical point of view.
Well, don't you have something to counteract that poison?
Once Mario was bitten, I'm afraid there's nothing anyone could have done. This indicates that they cannot afford to get even so much as a scratch from these animals. They're more poisonous than snakes.
What, do you think they're all affected?
Best way to find out is let them all bite you and see which bite you die after.
We might just all get that chance, Jerry. You included. Doctor, I've closed all the doors in the house. I suggest we do the same thing with this hall and this lab. It'll cut down the chances of getting in the front of the house. I think if we keep a close watch on those walls and windows in there, we might make it till daybreak.
The walls are 2 feet thick. Do you think they have a chance to dig in?
Of course there's a chance. Anywhere that plaster's off, that adobe's as soft as mush where that rain hit it. But here's another possibility, Doctor. It's very light out. It's going to be daylight soon. We'll take the shrew that killed Mario and throw it over the fence and use it for bait. If they show up for it, of course, they'll run for the boats out. But if they don't, then I'll go down and have Rook lay to with a lighter. Then I'll return to the bend and the trail and give you the all-clear signal.
Sounds fine, Captain.
Good. Then you explain it to the rest.
Yes, I will.
Well, the bait's been out for 20 minutes. Nothing's touched it.
Even the wind has gone down. Isn't that wonderful?
I'm afraid it's not over, my dear. It's just a lull. There'll be a lot more.
He's right. I'll be back at the bend shortly. Now, you watch for my signal. Huh?
You can't go alone.
I'll go with him.
Not you, Father. You haven't even fired a gun. Take Red or Jerry.
Sure, I'll go. Then you'll be sure of getting the signal.
Don't shoot that gun unless you have to. We've only got 20 rounds altogether.
I know that as well as you do. Sherman, you stay away from her.
You have that gun pointed at me?
Right at the middle of your back.
Look, we got enough problems without worrying about Ann.
I'm telling you, stay away from her, or when the Shrews get through with you, they won't even find the buckshot.
Where's the skiff? I'll follow that check line. I gotta find him.
Since last night, you won't find much of him.
Would you shut up?
I'm not going back.
You're what?
I'm staying here.
All right. You suit yourself, but if I were you, I'd swim out to that boat.
Can't swim.
Then stay here.
Wait a minute. You gotta give me a gun.
Give you a gun?
Sherman, wait!
The gun we had on the boat. They don't leave much, do they?
Sherman, we gotta make a deal for it.
What is it? Shh. They've been trailing us on both sides.
Where? I didn't see anything. Look, Sherman, you gotta give me a gun.
All right. Whatever you do, don't you run. And you stay in front of me, because I don't trust you.
They're coming! Open the gate! Open it! Open the gate! Open the gate!
You can let him in. Let him in.
Hurry, open the door!
You let him in. Jerry.
The Shrews were out there. I couldn't take a chance.
For heaven's sakes, Doctor, stop them!
Hey everyone, so behind me here you see Wayne Plains. This is the bowling alley that was used in Groundhog Day. So if you notice, in Groundhog Day he's there, he's drinking, he's at the bowling alley. He leaves, he drives down the railroad tracks, and the whole police chase starts. So the railroad tracks are right up here. I'm going to show that in a sec. But as you can see, this is the bowling alley, and I am about to go in there and get some strikes and cause some mischief. Not on camera, because, you know, yeah. So, I will see you guys soon. So, behind me here you can see the lovely railroad tracks. The bowling alley's directly across the street that way. Railroad tracks run down that way. I love that chase scene. It is so funny. It's also terrifying. It's like, yeah, this guy is reckless. He doesn't know what he's doing. But I think this is such a great town to film the movie in. It's got so much spirit and energy. And also today, there's a bunch of Groundhog Day celebration stuff going on. There's walking tours. They're showing the movie. This town is crowded with people who are here to celebrate Groundhog Day, the Bill Murray classic. I am here in front of the piano teacher's house. So, from Groundhog Day, piano teacher, still in Woodstock, not that far from the town square. As you can see, they have signs out for a walking tour right now, as it is approaching Groundhog Day. So, everyone in this town is really psyched up for this. There's a lot going on. I think it's so cool. Even though it is cold and snowy and everyone hates that, and I'm going to end winter. Mark my words. This is the piano teacher's house where Phil learned to play piano every day, getting a little bit better. Remarkably. I always wondered how many years of a life does Phil live in this movie on Groundhog Day. I was looking online and some people estimate up to like 34 years of repeating days, which is, that blows my mind. I can't imagine living this single day for 34 years. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually accurate, but I will say that there's a plaque on here. It says, the Piano Teacher's House, Groundhog Day movie, 1992. I love that this town celebrates this movie and that there are plaques all over the place for every location. Alright, so here we are at the bed and breakfast where Phil stays. This is the filming location. It's cool to see it. It looks a lot like in the movie. There's lots of people here today checking it out, which is cool as well. So far, nobody seems to have caught on that the other groundhog is gone, and I am now taking its place. I am hoping no one does. They don't seem to be asking questions as to why I'm walking around, which is good. Oh, you're totally fine. And we are about to conclude our tour of filming locations. I'm going to head back to Gobbler's Knob. We'll see you soon.
Wow! Come on, move it over. Come on.
So, Morgan, what do you think of this movie?
I always love this movie.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is. I love like how they got the coon dogs. I know.
Yeah,
we were talking about that. The dogs.
The fur on it. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that's felt? I want to touch it. Like I want to feel it.
I know. I was mentioning in Woodstock, one of the actors like had trouble keeping a straight face when they were filming it because he said it was dogs covered in shag carpet.
Oh my god!
And he's like, it was just like he couldn't, like he had trouble keeping a straight face because it was so funny to him. What? Are they after me?
No, I thought it was. But Celeste, did you know that the Dr. Baines, the actor.
Yeah.
He was also an uncredited producer and financier of this movie.
Really?
And he also financed the Giant Gila Monster.
Oh. You know, I'm curious on the budget of those movies because...
He was uncredited for it, too.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't credit him as an executive producer or that he was the financier. And then he also owned a bunch of radio stations and theaters throughout Texas. I'm trying to remember his name for the life of me. Gordon McLendon. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should look up the budget for this movie because it can't have been that big. At least they didn't spend it on effects.
And speaking of that, it is still regarded as like one of the most low budget special effects but highest regional movies out there, I guess. Like it.
Really?
Yeah. How did they say it? Low? You know, all the words are like they're like soup in my head.
Yeah.
One of the most successful regional films, even though it was low budget, to quote.
Alphabet soup.
Animal
Have you ever had alphabet soup?
I have.
With the little letters? I'd always spell out my name.
Yes.
Good times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember that book called Martha Speaks?
I have never heard of Martha Speaks.
It's like a childhood book, and it's about a dog that eats alphabet soup, and every time she eats alphabet soup, she's able to talk.
Sounds scary. I like it.
A little bit. Just a little bit scary. Stella Luna's my favorite. That's my favorite children's book.
Which one?
Stella Luna and the Giving Tree.
I don't... Yeah.
I gotta take you to the children's
I know,
section.
like, corduroy shapes and who says quack. It's
What
spoiler,
does
it's
the
a duck.
fox say?
Yeah, that too.
Internet gold. But yeah, back to this movie.
Yeah, it's like watching. I don't even know what to say. Like, some parts of it are so cheesy. Like,
it's so
the
terrible.
whole
It's
like
great.
love story comes out of nowhere.
That's
like,
right. That's right. The love story is. Oh my.
Which I'm getting ahead of myself, but I've seen this movie a couple times.
So have I, and that's where I was like, oh yeah, the love story.
It's like, okay, I guess they're together now.
Sure.
Won't spoil it for you. Spoiled it a little bit, yeah. But anyway.
I remember the killer shrews eating the set. Do you remember that too? Like,
yeah, and
It's
I
great.
was saying it made me really sad that the shrews, like, man messed with nature. And then nature was the one that had to pay for it because they all starved to death. Like, that was so sad to me.
Yeah. I didn't like that. I didn't like that they starved. That bothered me. Put them out humanely.
Well, let's keep driving. Yeah. I can't. No more stops.
Nope.
All right, didn't he have it coming, or didn't he?
What happened out there?
Oh, nothing much. Jerry just tried to kill me twice in the last 5 minutes. Rook came ashore last night. He's dead. This all was left. Won't do us any good. It's got no ammo.
I'm deeply sorry, Captain. I wish you had followed your orders.
Look, Doctor, you casually mentioned animals. You didn't explain to us what we were facing out there.
You have every right to feel the way you do. My mistake was only mine. It was one of judgment. I didn't know about the hurricane. I didn't anticipate the effect it would have on the Shrews. I thought the house would be safe through the crisis.
How could you expose your own daughter? How could you expose Anne to that?
She was going to leave last week, but the boat didn't come.
I need a drink. Anybody else care for one?
I could use some coffee.
I'll make some.
Thank you, madam.
Creamy sugar?
My leg!
Slam the door!
You all right, Doctor?
He just ripped my trousers, that's all.
Are you sure that's all there is?
I'm completely aware of it, Doctor.
That was a stupid waste of ammunition. Every one of them a clean mess. There's still 4 of them in there.
How did they get in?
Through that kitchen window. That rope must be rotten.
It got him! Radford! He's dead.
Oh, no.
He recorded every symptom and reaction, right up to the moment of his death.
Jerry, tear down one of those drapes and cover him up.
Sure. Craigis will cover Ann, and I'll cover him. You'll cover me, but who'll cover you? Shut up! We can get on that man old sway from the shit. Shut up!
Now you stop sniveling and think!
It'll take a tank to get us out of here.
It won't take them long to dig around this.
You're right. No telling where else they're digging, too. Come on, patio. There's not enough stuff here to barricade those walls. I'll tell you, we'll pile some of those crates up over there. That roof's our last chance. Here, help me, Doctor. See if you can find something light. All right. Here, help me with that, Doctor. Jerry, see if you can find some rope. Doctor.
Yes?
Use these chemical drums as tanks. Individual tanks. Here, I'll show you.
All right.
Stand down here. Let it down now.
All right.
Slow.
All right. I mean, all right?
Yeah.
It'll work. It'll work. But these drums are too tall for the base. If the shoes don't push us over, the wind will.
Not if we lash them together.
Huh? All right.
Hey, are there any more around here?
Only that one over there.
Have any cold chisels or hammers or anything I can knock a hole in here to make some eyepieces?
There are some.
Tools over there in the corner.
Hey, here's another one. Hey, get that out there. We'll work on it. Hey, this is even better. Give me a little more slack. Get some rope and put it on that latch so we can reach from the ground. Should be able to duck walk to the beach. Where's Jerry?
There's a lot of them out there. I can see them. I'm not going.
Look! Come down here. That wind will blow you right off that roof.
I told you I'm not going. I'm staying here.
You got to get them down here somehow. And see if you can coax them down here.
Jerry, please come down with us.
No, Ann, they'll get you if you go out.
Come down here, you fool! Poor devil, I hope he makes it.
If you can't leave him, he's not responsible for himself.
He's got to go now. All right, Doctor.
All right.
Now hold it up. Everybody ready? I'm going to open that gate.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, here they come. Hold on! Hold on! Your side's dragging. You want to rest? You tired?
Mira, Goffin, habló hacia acá en esta sierra.
What'd you say?
She says she's all right. She's keeping her eyes closed.
All right. Keep your eyes closed. They can't get at you through the slit.
This empty drum is too heavy for her. I can barely hold up my side.
I'll be all right in a minute.
All right. You walk. I'll drag for a while. Listen, don't let their head get under. They'll flip us over. there a scratch?
No, not a mark.
Keep moving. Let's go! Let's go!
Thorne, I don't think I'll...
What?
Son! Wait, son! Son, we're close!
We'll hit the water soon. It doesn't sound like they're following us anymore.
We better work deeper.
I'm about drowned out.
Okay, let's swim for it.
Okay. We are next on the waters. We are safe, aren't we? I mean, the storm.
Oh, sure. She rode out the first half all right, and that's always the roughest. Anyway, riding an anchor, I'll get a chance to learn a little more about that Swedish accent.
In 24 hours, there'll be one shrew left on the island, and he'll be dead of starvation. An excellent example of overpopulation.
Well, you know something, Doctor?
What's that?
I'm not going to worry about overpopulation just yet.
You know we got what you need, babe.
Okay, everyone, it's Groundhog Day again, and I'm here at Gobbler's Knob, where, well, okay, so I don't remember all the lines, but hey, campers, it's cold out there today, so don't forget your booties. It's cold out there every day, something like that. What are those lines I love that I've heard a million times in the movie? Anyway, so I'm here at Gobbler's Knob, trying to have some fun, filming some stuff, reenacting my favorite lines from Groundhog Day. And, as you know, I am now the new groundhog. Nobody seems to know about it. Oh, he's onto me. I'm gonna get him! Alright, so thank you for joining us today for Killer Shrews. Super fun movie. Went with the whole, groundhog thing. Had fun showing you guys locations from Groundhog Day today in Woodstock. It was a fun town. The weather isn't horrible, so it's been a good time for me. We have a special treat for you. We are showing you the 1908 short Legend of a Ghost. It's a real weird, trippy short film. I couldn't find much trivia on it, but it's got a really complicated, convoluted, crazy plot, so pay close attention. I thought this one was actually really fun and really well done. All right, Morgan. If we're gonna sell this, how would a groundhog eat? How do I import?
I've never watched them eat. Usually they're running.
No?
However you want to eat, that's fine.
I just don't want them to catch on to me before they have a chance for the spell to wear off. I'm gonna have to be this groundhog for a while. What did I get myself into? Why didn't you stop me?
I was sleeping.
How would a groundhog drink from a straw?
They can't. You're gonna have to pop that lid off and just put it in my mouth. No, it's too human.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
I think they lick their butts too. I don't know. Right?
I can't lick my butt. It doesn't bend that way.
It doesn't bend that way. I don't want to see I don't want the public to see me trying to do that. It just doesn't bend that way.
Well, I'm committed to this now.
There's no shame.
I have to see it through.
Yeah. Just don't go in anybody's yard. Don't mess with their sprinkler systems. Just don't. Just go back. You get to sleep for the next week.
Do I have to like climb trees and burrow and stuff? And
no, they're supposed to be hibernating right now because that's why he gets scared and goes back in, because either he sees a shadow or he doesn't. It's not so much the shadow; it's that he's sleeping. Somebody reached in there, manhandled him, you know.
So I just get to sleep for a week?
Yeah, that's what I just said. You get to sleep for a week.
That sounds awesome. Are groundhogs the ones that like throw feces at people?
Those are monkeys.
Monkeys. Okay. No, never mind. I don't have to do that. That's good.
Do you remember? You've already been a monkey, or did we forget about that?
I try to forget. So, by the way.
Yeah.
This end of the movie where
they escape.
Yeah. Did it make you think at all of Sleepaway Camp, where the guy's under the canoe going, "Hey, bop-a-ree bop"? Because that's what it made me think of.
I will tell you a little secret here about Sleepaway Camp, okay? That movie's great until the very end. Not much scares me. Not much scares me.
Wait, do groundhogs store stuff in their teeth? Should I be like stuffing my teeth?
Try it. That noise that she makes at the end of the Sleepaway Camp. That growling.
Yeah.
I know. No. 10 ways to Sunday. So. Beautiful. Just got it down. Do you want to help me like outro the show here? Do you want to help me end the show?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Wait until you finish chewing.
Yeah. Ah! Wait. Let me try this. Does that look more like a groundhog?
Yes. It looked like a groundhog at a bird feeder.
Oh. So, there was this kid that caught on to me.
Mm-hmm. How bad?
Well, I might have pushed him down in the snow and rubbed his face in it until he cried.
Oh my God! I was going to ask so we could just wipe his memories, Celeste. Oh.
No, I wiped his face in the snow. And then I put an invisibility spell on him.
I think we're changing places here.
It's winter. I want winter to end. I need it to end.
Usually I'm the bad one.
Can't handle winter anymore. You know I'm losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to the beach.
I just want to sleep.
You should be the groundhog. Do you want to be the groundhog?
Yeah. Do I get to sleep for the week then? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
No shadow. That's all you have to remember. No shadow.
No shadow. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'll be the groundhog.
Yep. We're switching.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, thanks for joining us.
And as always,
eat like a groundhog.
No.
We will hex you soon. Oh, now it's gone.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh no,
Let's
let's
break the camera.